Hey guys, I'm back with a new Traha Global video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the future of Traha, what's happening to the game, what direction it's going in. If you guys know, Traha Global shut down in Japan. It's shutting down next month, which is both a good and a bad thing. The good thing is it's not shutting down globally yet, and the bad thing is since it is shutting down in Japan, it will most likely be shutting down globally too. So we're going to talk about that, let you guys know everything you need to know if you're getting into Traha, if you're already playing Traha. I got you guys. Okay, so give me a thumbs up and let's jump into the video. So last month there came out this news about Traha Global shutting down in Japan. If you guys don't know about Traha Global is an open world free-to-play MMORPG that came out globally last year, and this game came out in Korea in 2019, and then it came out in Japan in 2020. So after about 2 years in Japan, it is currently shutting down, most likely because they mainly copy paste the content and the updates in Traha Global. They made the Korean version and they just copy pasted the content from Korea to Japan, came out in Korea, and then they do the same thing globally. So they probably ran out of content to copy paste, and the population dropped, and people weren't interested anymore. So instead of continuing it and keeping servers open, they decided to shut it down. Now we do have a slightly different game from Japan. We're following the content, but the pay to win is less when it comes to our global version. Now the game is shutting down. It means a few things for the global version. Number one is when the content catches up to the Japanese version, which means once we get all the PP content that they had in the Japanese version, all the cards, all the PP, all the content, which should be at the pace they're going, they up their pace, so they're posting content way more frequently. But in that pace, probably in a year, they're gonna reach that end of the content, which means they're not gonna be producing more content for the global version. So depending on the population, they will most likely shut down Traha Global, I would say, in about a year. This is pure speculation, but that's most likely what I'm guessing. Now, not only that, if you look at the charts, you can only look at the Steam charts. I don't have like the mobile charts, but you guys see the huge drop in numbers and player numbers, not only in the Steam charts, but if you look at like faction PP, territory wars, and PP overall, if you log into the game and you play on the servers, you will see that they're not even hitting like 100 players versus 100 players anymore. So the population is certainly dropping, and which means that if they don't get new players, they might shut down even before that year because of the high population drop. Now, these are the two things that might lead to, or will most likely lead to Traha shutting down. But there's also a third thing, and you can see this. I always have this rule, my MMORPG rule, is that once a mobile MMORPG hits its 2 to 3 month mark, they start becoming even more and more pay to win. And you can see that in Traha Global. You see now there's way more stuff you can buy in the cash shops. But there's also a third thing, buy, and they're introducing more and more cards. Why do you think they introduce cards every update and not that many companions every update or pets every update? That's because pets are free to get them through the coins, but cards you actually have to pay. So the reason they're releasing more and more cards is because they want to make more and more money, because when population drops, they have to increase the amount of money people are paying. So automatically the pay to win increases while the population increases. And most games are not understanding that when you make a game pay to win, that's how you lose population. Okay, it's very straightforward. But when Traha came out, they promised, of course, that there won't be that much pay to win, and they delivered. Traha Global is a good game. It is not that pay to win compared to other MMOs, but it definitely has its flaws. It is very polished. The skills are good. The combat is fun. The raids are fun. The progression is fun. Be that much pay to win is fun, but the balancing is completely horrendous. I'm going to talk about balancing. It's faction balancing, for example, when you fight. For example, let me give you a perfect example. They released a content called Siege like 2-3 months ago, right? And in the Europe server, after 2 to 3 months, for the first time after getting buffs on buffs on buffs, the other faction finally won one siege war after 3 months. They played and they lost for 3 months because they have no idea how to balance the factions. They have no idea how to balance PvP. There's like players with like 60,000 combat power fighting people with 200,000 combat power. So PvP makes no sense. The battlegrounds aren't balanced. The faction wars are unbalanced. The classes are unbalanced. So they have no idea how to balance in this game at all. And in a game where 60,000 combat PvP is important, you need to know how to balance. It doesn't make sense that if your game is fully PvP oriented and you're not balancing, I don't understand what you're doing. Okay, so the decisions and the balancing are horrendous. Now, Traha being a good game, I am very disappointed in, because I have played a lot of mobile MMORPGs and I know when I see a good MMORPG. And seeing Traha Global coming out and being an actual good MMORPG and them making the decision to not be pay to win was very good. It had me very hopeful and I knew the game had high potential, but they barely have done any marketing on the game. They barely talked about it. It feels like they just want to do like a fast cash grab and just make money without doing any marketing. There's been no Facebook ads. There's been no streamers being paid. There's been nothing marketing at all. If you have a good game, why aren't you marketing? Even like generic Korean or Chinese MMORPG that launch globally, they spam ads. They don't even have good games. So why can't you do it? It doesn't make sense at all. That is very unfortunate. So I think this is a good example on how you can have a good game. And Traha isn't the only one that launch globally. Several developers and several teams that do this. They have a good game, but they're very incompetent on how to manage the game. The directors, the team around it, they don't know what they're doing. How you can have, and that is a perfect example of that. Traha Global basically is copy pasting everything from the Japanese game to the global game, but they're forgetting themselves that it's not the same game. We don't have the same gear. We don't have the same pay to win. So you have to make changes. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to make those changes. So now I've talked about like the main core issues with the game, and again, it's very sad that such a good game is being killed by a team that doesn't know what they're doing with the game. So, and it's too far gone now. Like, they have lost most of the population. The only way to save it is if they suddenly do a bunch of marketing, actually know how to balance the game, and reduce the pay to win, which are 3 things they will not be able to do. Because they have had, I don't even know since when Traha came out, like 4 or 5 months now? 4 months? They have 4 months to make these changes that they still haven't. So my prediction for Traha Global is, since it did shut down in Japan, what is going to happen is I am giving this game about a year, and then they'll most likely shut down, maybe a year to 1.5 years. And I'm expecting this game to be very dead by probably around summer. Like summer, end of summer, I'm probably like the population now is probably going to get halved because of their decision making. 1.5 years. And it's very unfortunate that because this game they released in Korea and it did good, and then it did very bad. So they wanted to make more money, so they launched it in Japan. It did good, and then it didn't. And then it launched in global to make that extra money, right? So you have had a game. You have had 3 chances in Korea, in Japan, and globally to fix those problems and realize why people are quitting your game. And even knowing these issues and knowing these problems, having 3 chances, they're still not able to be able to manage the game properly. So it's very unfortunate overall. Let me know, what do you guys think about Traha Global? Are you guys still playing it? Will you guys be playing it? Right now, I have to say, currently, March 2023, this game is still one of the best MMOs on mobile. The game proper, but I don't see that being. Let me know. I don't see this being one of the best MMOs on mobile going forward. With the way they're going, the way they're managing, I don't see that happening. But currently, if you want to get into a game and you're looking for a game, check out Traha. It has no auto battle, right? It is kind of not really. It's becoming more and more pay to win. But it's a really fun and very good polished game. But that is it. Give me a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe if you guys haven't for MMORPG news. Check out this video right here, and I'll see you guys the next time. Bye-bye.